Curtis Hawks. I'm the president of Legacy Financial Partners, and I want to thank all of you for being on the call today. Really appreciate it. Just a couple of quick housekeeping items before we get started. One, I'm sure at the end of the call, some of you are probably going to have questions. I am going to put our phone number up at the end of the call. I encourage you to call in, speak with one of our marketers. They're probably going to be able to answer the questions that you have in much more detail than we would be able to address on the call today. Secondly, we're also going to have a special offer at the end of the call for the advisors that are on this call today. So for those of you that aren't familiar with us, we're an independent marketing organization based out of Kansas. And the reason Legacy Financial Partners was created was because we saw a void in the marketplace. We saw a void in the marketplace for truly unique and innovative ideas that help you, the advisor, market yourself. The other thing that we saw was a lack of marketing organizations that were truly advisor-focused. And what I mean by that is truly listen to what you had to say, what was important to you, and brought that to the table. And truly customized what they did to how you want to be worked with. And so that's what we've tried to create here at Legacy Financial Partners. And the purpose of today's call is to discuss innovation. Now, this system that we're going to be talking about today is a system that we've worked on and developed for the better part of a year. We put thousands of man hours into it and tens of thousands of dollars to bring this to the marketplace. But we believe that this addresses a glaring issue for advisors in the marketplace today and can help your business thrive. So let's talk a little bit about how the landscape has shifted. So the ways in which consumers seek information and make purchases has changed. 87% of adults use the internet. This is an interesting statistic. Among seniors with an annual household income of $75,000 or more, 90% go online and 82% have a broadband at home. For seniors earning less than $30,000 annually, 39% go online and 25% have broadband at home. And this stat is not unique to seniors. This carries through into boomers as well. Individuals that are more affluent, that have more money, are more apt to use the internet as a source of information. And as you can see here, the internet is the most important source of information for baby boomers when they are making major market purchases. So let's look at that for a second. What we pulled here are only 20 keywords. And as you can imagine, there's millions upon millions of different iterations of keywords and combinations. But you can see here on the low end, estate planning checklist at 1,600 to over 500,000 for what is annuity. And these aren't annual searches. This is on a monthly basis. These 20 keywords, you've got over 1 million searches a month for the products and services that all of you offer. So here's the issue. Our marketing is still the same. You know, when I first start talking to an advisor, I want to get a clear idea, a clear understanding of where they're at in their business, what they want it to look like, what do they think needs to happen to get there. And one of the questions that always comes up is, how do you currently market? And I typically get direct mail, seminars, preset appointments, radio, I network, I get referrals, and all of these are good marketing options. They've been good marketing options for a number of years, and they'll continue to be good marketing options for a number of years into the future. But the shift that's occurred across all demographics is that more and more individuals use the internet as their main source of information. And myself and we at Legacy Financial Partners, we are firm believers in a marketing plan and having a good, solid marketing strategy that hits your target market from a variety of different ways, and more specifically, markets to your target market via the media platforms that they are most likely to use. So there's a glaring issue here for most advisors. If you don't have a robust digital marketing strategy, you're missing a huge opportunity. And I think at this stage in the game, most people realize that, they acknowledge it, and have tried to take steps to remedy that? So there's a couple of issues. One, having a website does not mean consumers will find you. One of the questions I'll always ask is, do you have a website? And 99% of the time the answer is yes. So then the next question I ask is, well, how many people call you because they found you online? And then it's 99% the other way. Nobody calls me unless I tell them to go to the website. Well, that's an issue. And for that matter, if you're not sure how your website does, give us a call. I'm going to put the phone number up at the end of the call. We can actually run a report on your website and tell you where it ranks, where it shows up, what's good about it, what's not so good, and give you a clear picture of what needs to be adjusted for it to rank better. 2, the ways in which search engines rank sites have evolved. All the major search engines, whether you're talking Google, Yahoo, Bing, any of them, all use an algorithm to rank out sites. That's how when you do a search, you see 30 million results in 0.5 seconds. Well, that algorithm today is different than it was 5 years ago. And it's going to be different 5 years from today. Understanding what's comprised of that algorithm and how to rank for it is key to making sure your site's seen. And partnering with a firm that does understand that, that can take you in that direction, is key for online growth, especially in the digital marketing space. And as we discussed before, there's tens of thousands of consumers going online every single day. They just aren't finding you. But I would submit to you that we have created a solution to that. So, components of a sale. I don't want to talk about sales process, but what I do want to do is give you a little bit of an idea of, in the early stages of development, what did we look at? And as I mentioned, we're an independent marketing organization. And I make that point, you'll see me make that point a couple of times throughout the call today. Because there's a difference between a marketing organization and a lead company or a lead vendor. A lead vendor, they make their revenue from providing leads. The more leads they provide, the more revenue they generate. A marketing organization, the way we make our money is when advisors write business with them. And when we increase their business, we increase the revenue not only the advisor generates, but the amount of revenue that we make. So in looking at this, we looked at what needs to be there for a sale to occur. What needs to be there if an advisor is going to talk to somebody to give them the highest possible conversion rate possible. So first off, you have to have a prospect. Secondly, they have to have money. If they don't have money, then there's nothing that we can do for them. We can't, there's nothing to plan around. There has to be a need there. You could have a prospect that has a ton of money, and if they don't have a need, you're not doing any planning with them. Motivated. If somebody doesn't want to fix a problem, they're not going to fix it. In fact, how many of you have done, let's use direct mail as an example. Somebody replied back to get information on a brochure. You call the individual, follow up with them, say, hey, I saw you respond to this, I wanted to talk to you. And you get the response, just send me the brochure. There may or may not be a need, and they're certainly not motivated to do anything about it. And last is trust. And this might be even the most important thing, because you could have a prospect that has money, that has a need, that's motivated to take care of it, but if they don't trust that you're the advisor that can solve the problem, there's no sale. They're not going to do business with you. What we have developed is a system that generates prospects that have money, that have needs, are motivated to take care of those needs, and they trust you before they even call you. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? They don't know you, but how do they trust you already? That's what we're going to discuss. So, our proprietary system. The Trusted Optimized Producer System is comprised of 3 core components. Those encompass search engine optimization, local integrated marketing, and reputation optimization. These three components operating in sync will position you as the most trusted advisor in your community, position you as the most highly rated and knowledgeable advisor in your community, and generate a consistent stream of organic, 100% exclusive client inquiries. Now you see I put client inquiries there, not leads. I did that for a reason, and it goes back to the early stages of development and what we wanted to try and produce with this system. A lead is a lead is a lead. We have a dependence on leads because there's no other viable options in the marketplace. What is a lead? Somebody that wants information. That's it. That's all we know. A client inquiry, on the other hand, is somebody that has money, has a need, is motivated to take care of it, and wants to speak with an advisor. They don't want a brochure. They have an issue. They want to get it solved, and they're trying to figure out, how do I get this issue solved? So the first component, reputation optimization. 92% of people trust recommendations from people they know. That makes sense, right? In fact, when I talk to an advisor and I ask them, where do your best prospects come from? It's typically introductions or referrals. Why is that? Because you've already bridged that trust factor. If someone's vouching for you, then that person that you're going to talk to already knows, well, you must be a trustworthy individual. But here's an interesting statistic that many of you don't know. 72% of consumers that go online will trust an online review as much as a personal recommendation. Let that sink in for a second. 72% of the population will trust an online review about you, even though they don't know you, as much as a recommendation from their best friend, their brother, their sister, their parents. And this is not a new thing. This has been building over the last few years. And the additional statistics that are out there support this. People use the internet to research businesses, advisors, a myriad of different things to determine if this person is trustworthy, knowledgeable, and highly rated. And we can even take it a step further. If you are shopping online and find two products that are virtually identical and similarly priced, but one has all favorable reviews and the other doesn't have any reviews or has positive mixed with negative, which one would you buy? It sounds like a silly question, doesn't it? Probably the one, since they're similarly priced, that has all positive reviews. But let's take it a step further. I would imagine some or many of you have bought things online. How many of you have used eBay? Let's say you're on eBay, you find a product that you're looking for, and you decide you want to buy it. What is the absolute first thing you do before you buy that product? You see what the rating is of the person selling it. You want to know if you can trust them. If you send them money, are they going to send you the product that you want? So even many of you already go through this process. That's what's going on, like we looked at in the previous slide. Millions of searches every single month. That's what people are doing. They're just not seeing you. In fact, Google has noticed this. And they've adjusted their algorithm. Google now serves search results by reputation, not just in open search results, but especially in all local and proximity map search results. These are a couple of the major shifts that have gone on. Google has shifted. They've looked at eBay, Amazon, those types of sites, and they realized the power of a review, and have realized that within their algorithm, they're going to rank people that have a good reputation because those are the people that consumers want to do business with. Secondly, they've shifted to a local focus. Google wants to highlight local businesses in a community, not national firms. So what we've developed is a software that integrates into your web presence that automates a review filtering process. What we're able to do with this software is capture reviews and repurpose them into your marketing campaigns, so that when somebody's doing a search in your local community, they're able to see that you have a good reputation, that you're highly reviewed and highly rated. So think about that for a second in your community. You've got you there, and then you've got Joe Smith, competitor. Somebody is looking for a financial advisor in your area, and they see you and your name, and they see reviews about you saying, such and such advisor is very knowledgeable and put together a great solution for us. So-and-so really listened to what we had to say, understood where we were coming from, and put together a great plan. So-and-so genuinely cares about helping us succeed. And they see nothing about Joe Smith other than a website. Who do you think that consumer is going to call? Search engine optimization. Most people at this stage have heard the term search engine optimization, or SEO. And it's a very broad term that encompasses a number of different activities and a number of different features. Some of you probably called your marketing organizations, asked them about it, asked them, how do I get more visits to my site? And the typical responses that you might get are email marketing or pay-per-click advertising or paid media, what have you. True SEO is organic. This system is oriented around organic search. And here's why. If somebody sees an ad on the site, and we all see them when we do a search, you're paying a fee to have your ad show up, and when somebody clicks on it, you get charged that amount. That doesn't say anything to how knowledgeable you are, how highly rated, how reviewed, whether or not you're a good advisor. An organic search result, on the other hand, for that to be there, there has to be a high volume of traffic, and all those other aspects have to be there. So for somebody that clicks on an ad versus somebody that clicks on an organic search result, which one do you think has the higher conversion rate? The organic search result. So we've done several things within the search engine optimization module, one of those being specific intent keywords. And I say specific intent keywords for a reason, because there's a difference between that and a keyword, and I'll tell you what I mean. A keyword is a keyword. So for instance, let's say we typed in, what is life insurance? Many of you might say, well, that's a good keyword. I want somebody that types that in to be able to see my site. I don't know anything about that person. I don't know if that's a college student writing a paper for their finance class. I don't know if that's somebody that wants to become a financial advisor and they're doing some research before they go into the interview so they don't sound like a dummy. We know nothing about that individual. Someone that types in, how do I buy life insurance, financial advisor? What do we know about that person? We know they've done their research at this point, think life insurance is a solution, they want to get it, and they know they need to talk to an advisor to learn how to buy it. Which one do you think is going to lead to a higher percentage sale? That's what I mean by specific intent keywords. We have optimized this system on a defined set of specific intent keywords so that there is no other reason that somebody would feasibly type that in other than that they have money, they have a need, they're motivated to take care of that need, and they want to speak with an advisor. Each advisor receives a unique profile page, optimized to a set list of specific intent keywords. Here's why that's important. If you talk to anybody about SEO and you say, oh, I want to rank my website, and this is a challenge that many of you have, this is part of why you don't show up. If you talk to them about SEO, an optimized SEO strategy will take 6 to 9 months to get your website to rank. On average, that's how long it takes. Well, with us, we've already ranked. We've already optimized the site. We've already ranked everything. So when we create a profile page for you, That is an extension of our site. That means you rank significantly quicker, down to 6 weeks. Here's the other aspect of this. Each advisor is able to link their website to their profile. And at this point in the call, most of you are probably thinking, I'm talking about, with this system, how do you get on the first page of the search engines? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how do you dominate it. How do, when somebody types in a specific intent keyword, you show up several times on the first page of Google to the point that anybody that does that search, there's no question in their mind. This must be the advisor in our community. I see him here, 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 here. This person says this about him. This person says that about him. This must be the guy. So the importance of putting your link on the profile page is this. I'll use this example. Let's say you own a lawn mowing company, and you work at a deal with Walmart. And Walmart says, we're going to sell your lawnmowers in our store, and we're going to put a link from your website onto our website. Walmart gets hundreds of thousands of searches a month. By them putting that link on their site, that says to the search engines that anybody in that company's local community that does a search on any of those keywords that they would arrive at Walmart, it says this website is just as relevant, and we're going to rank that site because of that. And that's the difference between the advisors that are in this system and the advisors that are trying to rank on their own. The advisor that is in our system, the Trusted Optimized Producer system, because they're linked to a national site, will automatically leapfrog the competitors that have in their area that aren't able to do that. Local integrated marketing. One of Google's most important indicators of a website's value is citation authority. What this means is that Google reviews and catalogs every time it sees your company name and information. The more times it sees your name, the more relevant it thinks you are. So part of what this system does is we claim and promote your business on 100+ directories. We implement maps marketing. You've probably seen it. When you do a search, the map comes up in the corner and says the locations of the businesses that pertain to that. We put you on there. And then most importantly, we verify your business with Google. This goes back to just because you have a website doesn't mean you're going to rank. Google has a verification process for businesses. My guess is most of you didn't know that they had that. In fact, it's a 2-week process, which we will actually do for you. That's built into the system. But Google set up this verification process so that they could evaluate a business and say, who are the businesses that we're going to rank in a local community? If you verify yourself with Google, your site goes to the top of the list. So the bad news is that probably most of you didn't even realize that you could even do that and haven't done it. But here's the good news. 1, that's built into the system and we'll do that. 2, your competitors don't know about it either. So I hope what you can see at this point in the call is that this is not a shiny lure system that you get emails on every single day. This is something that's been planned, developed, invested in, put together that has a myriad of different moving parts. In fact, there's over 200 different things that go on every single month for each individual advisor to market you. What does all that mean? We elevate the advisor's reputation to position them as the best in the business in their local markets. Everyone in the advisor's local market will know that they are the trusted advisor in their community. And the byproduct of that is it generates a consistent stream of 100% exclusive, organic, qualified prospects directly to you. Consumers picking up the phone and calling you and saying, hey, I found you online. I need help. So a couple of key points I want to make here. Trusted Optimized Producer System is the only cohesive digital marketing platform specifically designed for advisors on the market today. We've done a significant amount of market research. No one has put something like this together that addresses all of the points that need to be there for you to rank. Again, we're an IMO. We're not a lead company. This isn't designed to generate a huge volume of leads and get thousands upon thousands of advisors into this system. In fact, this is territory-based. I want to get the right advisors in here, get a pool of advisors into this system, and dramatically change their business. Skew the line, the revenue line that they have, and keep those advisors very, very, very happy. Because the more money you're able to make, the more money we can help you make, the more profitable we are as well. This system will enhance all of your marketing activities. What I mean by that is, let's say you do seminars. Let's say somebody gets your response card and they're on the fence of whether or not they're going to show up or not. So they search your name. If they don't find you, maybe they show up, probably don't, maybe they don't, maybe they show up and have a meal. If they search your name and they see glowing reviews about you, they see you on that front page several times, do you think there's a better chance they're going to come? Do you think there's a chance they're going to say, this advisor knows their stuff? They've clearly got an established business and know what they're doing. So this will help enhance the response rates on your traditional forms of marketing. And we have a special offer. For advisors that are on this call that want to enroll in this program, we have an added bonus. On top of everything that I've talked about, we have an added bonus. But you've got to call in to find out about it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a shift that's going on in the marketplace. Digitally, there is a huge opportunity. It's the next evolution of marketing. If you do not partner with a firm that understands how this works and can help you penetrate that market, you're going to get left behind. We talked about the stats in the senior market. You go to boomers, it's even higher. XY millennial, even higher still. In fact, the last time that you needed to look up a phone number, did you use a phone book or did you go online? So call us, talk to us about this system, learn what the special bonus is, claim your territory. Don't miss this opportunity because, as I mentioned before, we're not signing up thousands of agents into the system. We're going to get a set pool of advisors. Once we lock up a territory with an advisor, that's it. Nobody else goes in there. So give us a call. Our phone number is 877-614-0141. I appreciate everyone taking the time to be on the call today, and we look forward to speaking with you.